Newcastle United transfer latest as Alexander Isak's future is again under microscope. Alexander Isak needs to come out and kill any transfer talk by pledging his future to Newcastle United. That's the view of former Magpies winger Chris Waddle amid ongoing speculation involving the striker and a move away from St James's Park. Isak still has 3 years left on his contract and Newcastle are firm in their stance that they won't be selling their best player. The Swede has attracted attention from Liverpool with the Anfield outfit making an informal approach for the player last week. Any official offer is likely to be given short shrift by the club, with owners keen to keep the player and build a team around him that can challenge for the Premier League crown and go deep in this season's Champions League. However, the situation wasn't helped by a cryptic comment by Isak's agent Gonzalo Gaitan at the weekend, where he hinted about a potential move for his client, while Eddie Howe was forced to clarify why he had sent the player home rather than include him in the squad for the preseason game against Celtic on Saturday. Waddle admits that Isak's head may have been turned slightly, but says it will be for the benefit of Newcastle and the player himself if he does an interview before the season starts pledging his future to the club. Obviously players leave and they're moving forward, but to see Liverpool in for Alexander Isak is obviously very disappointing because we know that he's a top player, said Waddle. He's a very important player to the way Newcastle play and if they're going to get success they need him up front. They have been linked with other players like Hugo Ekitike, but let's be perfectly honest, I don't think there's a better striker at the minute in the Premier League than Isak. You can see why Liverpool obviously are interested. Isak is very quiet, he never really comes out and does any interviews, never really talks about his life, his future. So for Newcastle, I'm sure the fans in particular would love him to come forward and answer a few questions. Isak has spoken in the past about being happy at Newcastle, and is not understood to be agitating for a move behind the scenes. However, Waddle thinks it's time for the 25-year-old to speak out on his future again. I'm sure Isak has got a lot of love for Newcastle United, but as I said, football is a short-term business, he added to Flashscore. Opportunities don't come around like the offer he's got at the minute very often.